Hello everyone and welcome back. It is time for my July book haul, and I actually bought some books with my own money in July. Several. Not huge numbers, just, more than I actually read in July. I'm hoping to just keep things quiet through the rest of the year, although Stephen King is coming out with a book soon, so I do need to get that one. I would say there's two trips, but there's not really. I just went into Grimsby for one of them. My Waterstones isn't great, but I did buy a couple of things. And then the other one, I went to Lincoln to see Zara the other weekend, and I had saved some money for that. That was sort of like my birthday treat. It was just the first weekend that we both managed to get together at the same time. So I'll do the books in Grimsby first, since I bought those first. I dropped some clothes off at Oxfam one day, and there's not a massive book selection at my local Oxfam, but I saw this sat on a shelf, The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. I have had this on my wish list for a little while, and I think this is the US edition, because the UK version is different and this doesn't have a UK price. This is multiverse travel, but you can only go to a universe where you don't exist, so you may have died or just never existed at all. And we have someone who has been dying in most of the universes, so she can travel to a lot of different places. This was £1.99. I call that a bargain, because I dropped some clothes off that day. I also went into Waterstones and got a couple of wishlist items, and I've said this before, I just add stuff to my wish list that looks interesting and then I forget why. So one of those is The Black Tongue Thief by Christopher Buehlman. This is a thief. Kinch Na Shannock owes the Takers Guild a small fortune for his education as a thief, which includes, but not limited to, lockpicking, knife fighting, wall scaling, fall breaking, lie weaving, trap making, plus a few small magics. His debt has driven him to lie in wait by the Old Forest Road, planning to rob the next traveller that crosses his path. But he has picked the wrong mark. That's been sounding quite interesting for a while, so I waited till the paperback was out. And then I saw this one recommended in a few places, The Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. I've been told that this is not YA, but my Waterstones had this classed as YA because I think this is actually really quite brutal. There's a gladiatorial war, combat trials, all sorts of things. I just thought it sounded really quite fantastic, so I'm looking forward to that one. So that was helpful with synopsis, I know. I've always bought my books like this, so it just sounds interesting, and then I pick it up and figure out what it's about later. So Lincoln, I didn't buy... Actually, that's not true. I bought a little Tolkien thing from an Oxfam bookshop. I just need to go and get it off the shelf. This wasn't in my little pile of things. So this is Farmer Giles of Ham, and I got this from the Oxfam bookshop in Lincoln, and I just love collecting all the little Tolkien stuff. I have a few old books on there. I've got it's a little collection. It's mine, it's small, it's sweet, and this is going on it. I've read this story, I'm sure it's in one of his tales, but this is such a charming little edition. It's got someone's name in it who had it, and this edition is from 1983, which is quite nice. It's got lots of lovely little illustrations in it throughout. It's lovely. It's a nice thing. I like it. And that is all I bought secondhand. Everything else was from Waterstone. But first of all, Zara bought me a book for my birthday, The Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. We all love Station 11, so when she came out with another science fiction thing, we've got to have it. We usually buy each other books. We pick something out at Waterstones. It's just the easiest way to do things, because then you don't accidentally buy something the other one has already had. So otherwise, from Waterstones, that's everything else I bought. Flatland by Edwin A. Abbott. This is an old science fiction. When is this originally published? 1884 this first came out. This is set in a two-dimensional world, and one of these shapes encounters a three-dimensional object. This has inspired a lot of people. So Stephen Hawking and Carl Sagan were inspired by this one. And I've been meaning to get hold of a copy for a little while. And there's a lot of classic science fiction coming out. These rather charming penguin editions. It's just, you know, they're the price of a full novel for what is essentially a novella. More Shirley Jackson, because that's going to be happening on this channel. Shirley Jackson. This is Dark Tales. There wasn't a lot on the shelf, I've got to admit, but Dark Tales, yeah, let's have some more Shirley Jackson. Then Skyward Inn by Aaliyah Whiteley, and I've been meaning to read some of her stuff for a little while. The Loosening Skin, I think, was hers. So I saw this some time ago and just added it to my wish list. The Skyward Inn within the high walls of the Western Protectorate is a place of safety, where people come together to tell stories of the time before the war with Keita. But safety from what? Keita surrendered without complaint when Earth invaded. Innkeepers Jem and Easley, veterans from either side, have regrets but few scars. Their peace is disturbed when a visitor known to Isley comes to the inn asking for help, bringing reminders of an unnerving past and triggering an uncertain future. And finally, I've done it again. I've bought a random hardcover that I didn't know a lot about, but I like the cover. Flames of Mirror by Clay Harmon, book 1 of the Riftwalkers series. I've seen this a few places and it was on the shelf and I couldn't find anything else I wanted, so I got this. Paid $16.99 for it. It's got, you know, end papers are a map. Isn't that lovely? What else have we got in here? Do we have, what's at the back? Oh, it's just the map again at the back. So, among boiling volcanoes under Mirror's frozen lands, people like Ig are forced to undergo life-threatening trials that bind chemical elements to the human body. One of Mirror's most powerful elementals, Ig serves as an enforcer for magnate Cerero Andrian, but is cursed with flesh-binding magic that will kill him at the first sign of disobedience. It just sounded like fun, so I bought it. I don't really put a lot of thought into my purchases. Sometimes it's all very, you know, oh, that looks interesting, I'm going to have it. Which is great until I try and do a book haul video and explain to you what the book's about, because here we are again. Anyway, those are the books that I purchased in July. Let's try not to do so many in August, and I will see you all soon.